MPK podcast is in session. Leave me gavel alone. I'm waiting for us to come up on the screen.
Sheet?
Here's our sheet.
Yeah.
Our sheet is in front of us there.
It's a dead quick podcast, this one.
It's going to have to be, because you've got no apology.
Stay there, just stay there 1 second, lad. Don't move. Stay. Don't put them on.
No, because I know that the fucking Mr. Duck, lad.
His glasses are steamed up.
That's because, do you know what's not steamed up? You, because you hardly do any work.
I don't get a cup on.
No, look, I'm taking the piss out of me, because don't make me don't make me show everyone Commerce Way's most notorious villain. You don't want that out there, do you?
Oh, his glasses are steamed up.
I know, because I'm working hard, mate. You know, I haven't even had a chance to do today's podcast.
Oh.
Sound. Thumbs up, Josh. Are we all good? Happy days. So, Mevo is working okay. Like, do not make too much of a sound, because they still haven't sorted it, but Josh has managed to just get it nice so that we can get through, hopefully, today's podcast. It is only a short one because, it's been a little bit...
Can I just interrupt you?
You okay? You already
got
have
a public announcement to make.
It.
An apology.
Yeah?
Because last week I sat back and...
Chilled,
and for the first 20 minutes, no one could hear what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I forgot what I was saying.
Yo, but
all went to shit.
Do you know what you don't get?
What?
The fucking complaints.
Where'd you get them?
Oh, I get them. Sunday, me
get
day off.
as well?
Me Sunday,
Hey.
me day off, we got complaints.
Did we?
Why can't I hear Barry? Is it my phone or is it... I was like...
See,
no.
they weren't worried about listening to you. They wanted to hear me.
They weren't
Hey.
worried about listening to me because they always know that I'm here. I am in front of my mic.
Steamy windows, that's what I'm going to call you now.
Steamy windows. Look off. Everyone watching, thank you for joining live on YouTube. There's 5 people watching. You're getting involved. It is the PGR review, as it says on the screen behind us. So, we're going to announce the results of the nutrient companies that put themselves forward and paid for their PGR testing. And this is just phase 1. We tested over 40 products, I think it was, 42 products in total. And we got all the results back on Friday last week. Now, do a little bit complicated, the results, so that's why, obviously, I waited till this podcast to announce them. And there's still a little bit more testing to go on, so they're 95% good, or they've got a 5% chance of redeeming themselves. So there's a little bit more testing to go on. I just wanted it to be absolutely bomb-proof. Nobody, once these results are fully released, you won't be able to say anything. So it's podcast 182, a PGR review. As I was saying, so Barry said his public apology because he was sat back like this on last week's podcast, just taking it easy. And if anyone watched last week's...
lock it up now, so I can't do it. I've done it.
Yeah.
Can't lean back. I've stopped myself.
You're a bit of a special person, aren't you, Barry? So, Barry's made his apology. I will make my apology because I've just been up the wall today with all kinds going on. Today's podcast was going to be about the results and a PGR review, and then we were going to sort of start discussing natural plant hormones and what gibberellins, auxins, indole acetic acid.
Yeah, all of that.
But we're not going to this week because I got through about half of them. I'm not going to give a half-hearted podcast.
So what we do
next week's is all about hormones and how plants use hormones. It sounds boring. I know Barry's thinking, fucking hell, am I off next week or something?
It's a sciencey one.
But it's genuinely going to be an interesting podcast. I'll give you a little teaser. So, gibberellins. Have you ever noticed the way a plant will lean towards the light?
Yeah.
That's basically all about hormones, and auxins is the right word, I should say. Auxins is the hormones within a plant, and they accumulate on one side of the leaf, causing it to bend towards the light. Phototropism, it's called. And auxins are now called, the name for them now is indole acetic acid, IAA. And hormones. So what is the most important aspect of a plant reaching a certain yield or a certain quality? What is the number one thing? Like, if it doesn't have this, it can't reach its potential.
No.
It's genetics. So with plant genetics, a lot of people think that if it's good or bad genetics, that's it, set in stone. But actually, when I was away, I was reading a book, and it was mostly on plant hormones, and it's just ridiculous what plant hormones can do. And actually, I'm not going to get into it because it's going to be a really good podcast next week. Things like, I'll give you a little bit more of a teaser. You know, when you get that taproot and it goes all the way to the bottom and it hits the bottom of the plant and it starts spiraling, you can do something simple like just cut the end of that taproot off. It doesn't go any further down, and the roots will just start to bush out.
Oh, it's the same as the top.
Exactly. So you're topping, but with the root. And when you're topping a plant, we all know it stops lateral growth and increases horizontal growth. It makes a plant bushier and sturdier. But why? How does it do it? What's the point of it? What's the benefits of multiple topping? What happens if you so there's thinning, pinching, topping, cutting, and then people have got a thing where they just pinch.
Wait, it's not. You just squeeze.
Just
it.
Squeeze it, yeah. But
that's just to slow it down, doesn't?
Yeah. So we're going to be talking all about that, all about how hormones help in that. Things like rooting gels, like Clonex, and we're going to get you to understand exactly what hormones do, how they affect the plant. When you manipulate a plant physically, what you're doing to the plant's hormones. It's really interesting. I've really gone into it reading this book, so it'll give me. And I've got another week to get through the rest of the book, and I'll be able to. We'll both give a really good podcast next week. Yeah. So today, it is podcast 182, a PGR review.
Judgment Day.
I hope you're all terrified. I'm actually surprised at only six people watching. To be fair, I didn't really shout about it too much on Instagram. I did tell a few people. But when they ring me up and they go, "Oh, I've heard you got the results," I'll say, "Oh, you have to watch the YouTube channel, won't I? You have to listen to the podcast." And I'm also going to take this opportunity because I know this is going to be a heavily downloaded podcast. So here we go with our other shout-outs. First of all, follow us on Instagram at NPK_Hydroponics and follow at NPK_media if you are in the hydroponics industry and you have a company that would like branding or marketing. MPK Media is a phenomenal company. I've known them all my life. So get in touch. There they are. If you're watching live, there they are on the back of the screen there, MPK_media. But now to the real people that allow us to do this podcast. We would like to say a special thank you to one of the best nutrient rangers in the world, CANNA Nutrients. Who would you like to say a special thank to, Barry?
I'll go with Can Fan and Filters.
Can Fan and Filters. What was the fact about Can Fan and Filters? The number one selling filter in the world?
It certainly is, mate.
It certainly is, mate. Thank you to Can Filters. Big thank you to AutoPot Watering Systems, who have got the AutoPot Summer Social in August, the event of the year. I can't wait, and they are partners of the podcast. So if you're looking for a system, you can do a lot worse than going for AutoPot. Who else have we got?
We've got SANlight.
Ooh, SANlight. Now, you need to be looking at SANlight because this is the time of year when SANlights do their best. It's the summer. You need to get heat down. Invest in SANlights. Phenomenal. We've seen the results. We've been to the labs. We see how they're put together. Absolutely over the moon to have them on the podcast as partners. And last, but by no means least, one of the most powerful double-ended HPS lights, Square Wave, Revolution Microelectronics. We also do the 630 double-ended ceramic metal halide. And also, it's not in the UK yet, but they have the Avicii LED, which I'm hearing good reports about. Doing very well, very powerful LED.
Sounds
thank you very
designer.
much. It is. Thank you very much to all the partners.
Yes.
We couldn't do this podcast without you. Right, enough of the partners. Onto the intro. Let's go, Coatsy.
All good? Ready to go? Turn my voice up a little bit. Oh, got that. Everyone watching, the whole family.
Are you ready to go? BioBizz is here in the house that I built, in the booth that I built.
I know people tune in every Sunday to listen, but even when business is good, we still manage to do the podcast.
This is the moment where YouTube people just get to see me and Barry be quiet for 5 seconds.
Can I lean back?
Lean back. So, it's podcast 182, a PGR review. It's only a little quick one this week because next week, 183, we're talking about plant hormones. And I'm going to go in depth. Barry, prepare yourself for a long one, mate.
Oh, I'm ready.
So, for the people watching live and the people listening, it's the PGR test analysis data.
You're going to tell them all the bad news first? Or all the good news?
I'm going to tell them all.
Tell them all the one full of PGRs first.
I can't.
You're going to be shocked at this one.
Shocked. Very, very shocked. I'm going to do it in an order because I need to give a special shout out to Mills Nutrients because they have a range of products. They have the A and B for soil, cocoa, and hydro. They have the PK. They have C4, Vitalize, Start. They have a good selection of products. They were the first company to donate in full for every single product, and they went above and beyond. So they actually donated extra so that we can get other products tested. And Mills came back.
Squeaky clean.
That was supposed to be a whistle. Squeaky clean, clean as a whistle. Yeah. Absolutely PG. Well, here's where we get into the nuances of our test. We tested for 5 PGRs. They were diminazide, paclobutazole, unicanazole, myclobutanil, and clomiquat chloride.
And they're the worst of the worst, aren't
they? They are. Diminazide is you can find plenty of data that it is a known carcinogen. So if it's in the product, it's bad news. Paclobutazole, unicanazole, and clomiquat chloride aren't actually known carcinogens, but they have been tested on rats, which have actually seen 99% of DNA with humans. So when they're tested on rats, it can be applied to humans in the next stage of human trials. And when unicanazole, clomiquat chloride, and paclobutazole, when they've been tested on lab rats, it's actually reduced fertility in rats and caused in certain issues they've called respiratory problems and so on and so forth. It's not actually listed as a known carcinogen. It's only diminazide that's actually out there. But that doesn't mean that it isn't a carcinogen. It just means it hasn't been tested yet as a carcinogen. So they're those 3. And the last one, this has the least amount of data on it, but myclobutanil is the hydrogen cyanide one. When it's combusted, it cleaves off the hydrogen and the cyanide, and you can be potentially inhaling cyanide.
Wow.
So it's not great. It is in Eagle 20, a very powerful product if you use it on ornamental plants or grasses and turf, something that is never going to come anywhere near human ingestion through combustion. Absolutely fine. You can actually, if you sprayed an apple with myclobutanil and ingested it, not a problem. Not a known problem anyway. It's when it's combusted, it cleaves off that strong triple hydrogen cyanide bond. And that's where if you do things like grow tobacco, or some people grow herbs and will dry them out and can use them as incense, you combust on what you grow, then that's where myclobutanil becomes a problem. So people asked, why did you test for those 5? Because there's actually a bigger range of tests. I'm going to be releasing the report shortly, and there's over 400 chemicals that got tested for, and the majority are not harmful. The majority of them, one of them that was in the testing is actually like an algicide. So when the bottles get put on the shelf, if it's in light and it's a bit warm and you didn't have this particular compound in it, it could start to produce algae in the bottle. So a lot of companies throw this in and it stops algae from
when they're just making the bottles.
When they're just making the bottles. Yeah. So that some of those have come up in the test, but they're not carcinogenic, they're not harmful to human health, and they're in the regions of 0.002 parts per million.
Oh, it's not even worth talking about that.
Not worth talking about. But I always said from the beginning, full transparency, we'll be releasing all the data shortly. So Mills Nutrients get the special shout out because they were number 1. They were the very first to contribute. And to be fair, it was tested for 400 compounds. It didn't register for a single one, not even like the algicides or anything. So squeaky whistle clean. So well done to Mills Nutrients. Your certificate will be out in the post, PGR free, NPK recommended, MPK podcast we have a lot of medicinal growers of cannabis in Canada, where it's legal, in Switzerland, in America, in all countries around the world. So MPK Podcast can now stand behind Mills Nutrients as a nutrient line you can use for medicinal grown CBD. Certified. We put our necks on the block. We put it out there. If you're a medicinal grower, we stand behind Mills Nutrients.
Yeah, man.
Well done. Big round of applause
To
in
Mills.
post-production. Next one is BioBizz, the organic line, the fully clean.
Yeah.
But what we do need to say is that on this range of nutrients that have all been tested, there's a couple that were missing out. So there was Simon from FDAS explained to me in technical terms. It went a little bit over my head, but we're redoing some of the tests again because it cannot be certified 100%. So next week or in 2 weeks, Simon said it's going to be sent off to the lab again, and we're going to just run it again because it's come back clean, but he wants to redo the test again for some technical lab reasons because it's got to be UCAS accredited, and they're going to run a couple of these products on every range. They're going to run a couple of products through again. So BioBizz, up until now, 100% clean, and we're going to revisit them in 2 weeks' time and see how the retest has gone. Yeah. But it's organic, it's BioBizz. I can't see any problems at all. And BioBizz were the second company to get involved, and a big round of applause for BioBizz, fully organic and a very, very clean set of nutrients. We tested the full range as well. They paid for the full range and, again, additional extras. I think they paid for up to another 2 products to be tested, which we'll do at the end.
Yeah.
So big round of applause to BioBizz. Next one was Hydrotops. Now, Hydrotops deserve a little bit of a special mention as well, because I spoke to the owner of Hydrotops and I did say to all these companies, you don't need to get your A and B tested, because what I'm going to explain what these PGRs do. I'm going to explain when we've given out all of our round of applauses, is that if you were to they basically shorten internodes and they create effects within the plants that if you put them into the base nutrient, it would create a response that would be terrible. So it would create a short stocky plant in the week 1 of veg, and it would be horrible. So there's no commercial
additives what it's in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I did say to everybody, you don't have to get your base nutrients tested, because if you're putting things like the minazide in your base nutrient, the plants would look disgusting anyway, because you'd be feeding them from birth. So I know 99.99% people don't put PGRs in the base nutrient. However, it was all Mills, BioBizz, every company, they ended up saying, let's just do the full range anyway. Hydrotops was the first company to say it. They said, we want the A and the B in grow, the A and the B in bloom. We want our soil grow and our soil bloom. We even want our tablets tested for the Bactivator and the feed that comes with it.
That's already done. Bactivator, Triple F and Top Heavy.
Bactivator tablets, Triple F tablets, and Top Heavy crop tablets. And then they tested the liquids that feed the tablets as well. The catalysts. Every single product tested, and they actually paid above and beyond. So they paid like nearly twice as much as everybody else to get their full range tested. And it came back squeaky clean. Yeah, absolutely clean as a whistle.
I wouldn't expect no more though from Hydrotops, if I'm honest. Yeah. I wouldn't.
Phil was very relieved. He was like, the last 10 years have not been a lie. Very funny, Phil. Phil was obviously 100% confident, and I'm 100% confident as well. So, again, the shout out for all the companies that have been coming clean: Mills, BioBizz, Hydrotops, for the companies and for the countries where growing medicine, whether it's CBD or whether it's your own food for your own health. We stand behind Mills, we stand behind BioBizz, and we stand behind Hydrotops. If you're a medicinal grower, MPK Podcast certifies those products, no problems at all. Well done. Another round of applause for Hydrotops. A new range to the industry in the UK, but a very well-known range in the US. Can you guess what it is yet?
Is it Veg+Bloom?
It's Veg+Bloom, mate. Veg+Bloom. Absolutely killing it in the US and I think Canada as well. They came over to the UK around January, February time, and they were, I'll say Veg+Bloom, but it was mostly Highlight Horticulture. Highlight Horticulture paid to get Veg+Bloom tested. They're powdered nutrients that's got a lot of shit in it. It's got sea crab extract and tortoise fucking nose and fucking sea lion toenails in there and all kinds. So it's got a lot of shit in there, all powdered. And it came back 100% squeaky clean. Not even for, and this is another range of nutrients where the 400 products that were tested, the compounds, it didn't come for a single one. Yeah, so very impressive for a range of powdered nutrients. Nice. So again, Veg+Bloom, PGR free, harmful PGR free. I'll actually start saying harmful PGR free. If you're a medicinal grower anywhere in the world where it's legal, then we stand behind Veg+Bloom. Well done. Well done to Veg+Bloom. Now we're on to, they were so they're 4 companies that had every single product tested, the full range. They went above and beyond. Those 4 companies up to now are brilliant. Just absolutely take my hat off to you. What I will say is that CANNA, and I'm saying this as well, you all know that they're a partner, but it's not because of this that I'm saying it. When I announced this testing, I went for a meeting with CANNA in their HQ in Nottingham, and I told them about the test, and they said, yeah, we're in. The only problem is CANNA is the biggest nutrient company in the UK, probably one of the biggest in Europe. It's a massive, massive company. They've just got a lot of red tape. So somebody has to ask somebody, who has to ask somebody, who has to ask the big boss. The big boss lets him know, lets him know, lets him know, lets me know. I basically give them the links to the crowdfunding page. It goes back another 4 steps, comes forward 4 steps. It takes a long time for CANNA to get things done.
They know this. Get it done.
So the reason I'm saying that is because Mills, BioBizz, Hydrotops, Veg+Bloom, they came up trumps. They heard about the testing. They're 100% confident about the products. They paid within weeks. Mills paid within days, and they stood up and they got counted. So just want to take a big round of applause for Mills' whole nutrient line, BioBizz whole nutrient line, Veg+Bloom whole nutrient line, and those 4 companies. What did I say? Hydrotops, Veg+Bloom, BioBizz, Mills, 4 products, 4 ranges that MPK Podcast, MPK Shop, MPK Technology, we stand behind because they are harmful PGR free. So we are happy to tell those people, start using those nutrients. Here we go with some additives. Vitalink so Vitalink are in a...
Tell me whether Vitalink paid or who paid. Was it the donations that done this? Or?
Oh, no. The donations are still the crowdfunding account because so the extra donations that Mills paid, BioBizz paid, Veg+Bloom paid, and that's it. Hydrotops paid above and beyond for all their products. They paid a lot. So some of these other companies have.
So
paid.
We've left all the XEs in the pot.
Oh yeah, they're in the pot,
and we're going to wait for everyone. Budders Tree, Dutch Pro,
Budders Tree, Dutch Pro, CANNA still needs to go.
CANNA still needs to front it.
There's just we're going to test every range of nutrients. Nobody is safe. Whether you think I'm going to hide behind a rock, Plant Magic, Gold Label, House and Garden, you will all be getting tested. There's no rock that these companies can hide behind because if they think Shogun, Intense, Shogun have actually donated already.
Have they?
They donated £1,500.
To do their product?
To do their products, but they didn't realise that for the extra money, which for £2,350 is what it costs to get your full range, up to 10 products tested. Yeah. They donated £1,500 after I spoke to Cali. They were like, yeah, but the testing's good. We're happy with this. They donated $1,500. What they didn't realise is that if they just donated another £850, they get all the products done. So I've said to them, I'm not going to just test. I think it would work out 3 products for £1,500. It's mad. You buy 10, you get a big discount.
So what? We're just waiting on them now to put the XEs in.
I said to them, hold your horses. You're involved in stage 2. Donate the other £850, and your whole range will get tested rather than just 3 products. Good. So Shogun didn't get tested in this stage 1, but they're already invested £1,500 for stage 2, so they're well on the way. Vitalink, they donated £1,500. Same situation for them. But I did get Buddy tested, their PK, because it's a good product. It's a PK booster. It's very cheap. And I thought, I would genuinely like to see, because Buddy works well, and it's a cheap product. I thought, are they making this cheap because there might be some nasties in there? Let's get it sent off. Let's find out. came back clean.
Yeah, man. Nice.
So well done to Buddy from Vitalink. Vitalinks will be involved in this
but
stage
that doesn't
2.
mean he's in the clear, though.
Oh, no, you've still got your full range to go.
But
the biggest prospect for a PGR was Buddy, and it came back clean. So stage 2, Vitalink will be also getting their full range tested, and we're going to come back to them. Next one was an independent product by Super Thrive. Now, Super Thrive didn't pay, but it was one of those that a couple of people have said to me, listen, I'm using Super Thrive. It's a vitamin, it's a mineral, it's all kinds in there. And I'm not sure on it because we think it works really well. So a little proportion of the donations went towards getting Super Thrive tested. Super Thrive didn't pay. This is one product that I did actually want to get done. So Super Thrive, well done. You came back clean.
But it would have been better if you'd have put your hand in your pocket and paid yourself.
You still could. You still can donate that money. But Super Thrive came back clean. And the reason I wanted to do it is I did get a lot of messages saying, please test Super Thrive because I'm using it and I'd love to find out sooner rather than later. So
we got loads of people asking for another product as well, though, didn't we?
Are you on about? So I got a lot of messages of people when I told them what products we were testing. They said, how come you haven't tested rocks or what's the other one? The ones that the industry knows have got PGRs. I said, because I didn't want to waste people's money on testing a product that we know has got PGRs in it.
Like Fruit Machine and shit.
Fruit Machine, that's the one. Fruit Machine, Rocks, ROX. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get them tested because we know they've got PGRs in. They're going to set the benchmark because not only do they tell me that it's got a PGR in it, it tells me how much is in it. So if we find out Rocks and Fruit Machine have got, let's say, 1 milligram per kilogram of diminazide or paclobutazol in there, and then we get another clean, in inverted commas, nutrients having 2 milligrams per litre, then you're a real arsehole. Because even the ones like Rocks and Fruit Machine have got less than PGRs than you in it. So we're still going to get them tested in phase 2. And that gives us a benchmark of what the amount of PGRs people are putting in. So Super Thrive, well done, but you need to pay up.
It's a shame you didn't do it yourself. Yeah.
Next one is Mammoth P. This was another one by Highlight because Highlight paid for Veg+Bloom and they had a little bit of extra money left. So I thought we'll get Mammoth P tested. It's a brilliant product. It's a bacterial product and it does such a good job. I knew, but I just wanted other people to know because it's been said that it's got a short shelf life. That's wrong. You're misreading the label data. You're reading about a manufacturing date, not an end date. I heard a lot of that recently. I've heard that the colour bottles change, which can be down to PGRs.
As soon as it's made, every colour's
different because it's got natural alfalfa in it.
Yeah,
and it's a live, living product. So every product colour is going to be different, or very. You'll have different batches when they're on the shop. So I just wanted to sort of put that out there because before people start saying, oh, if it's the manufacture date's this and it's all this, then maybe it's got a PGR in it. So we got Mammoth P tested and I knew this already, but it was clean. Big tick, PGR free of the bad 5, and Mammoth P came back it actually doesn't have any of the 400 compounds that were tested for. So Mammoth P, if you're a medicinal grower in countries where it's legal, or you grow your own fruit and veg in the UK, you can carry on using Mammoth P. It's absolutely free of anything that can be considered harmful. Well done, Mammoth P. And last, but by no means least, Moonshine. Why do you think I've left this one till last? They've got the foliar spray and they've got the Moonshine root drench. So I've given you all the good news up until now. And I thought I'd tell you this last one and then disappear off the podcast quick.
Yeah.
Paul already knows. His foliar feed and his root drench are absolutely free of PGRs. He was Dan, who people say looks like me, but obviously he's the Skelmersdale version of me. So he's like the quick save version of me. Yeah. He hasn't got the better beard. He doesn't dress as good. Whatever. He had a bit of a comment. He was like, I know it's PGR free. I know I wouldn't work for a company that had PGRs in there. I said, well, what if they haven't told you? Well, I'd know. No, we need to get it. Well, we've had it tested. Oh, but I haven't had it tested. It's not independent. Like, I want to tell the people, MPK podcast and the MPK shop stand behind this product And I can't do that on your word. You're not going to turn around and tell people it's got PGRs in it. I'm just like, and then 2 days later, Paul was like, fucking get it tested. So he paid, got it tested, absolutely PGR free. And out of all the 400 compounds, it didn't even have any of those in.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Moonshine. You're clean. If you're a medicinal grower or you grow your own fruit and veg, once again, MPK Podcast and MPK Shop absolutely stands behind Moonshine as a product. And just as a shout out, Mills Nutrients works really well. Mills is a blend of organics and mineral. BioBizz, fully organic, works really well. Clean. Hydrotops, it's a higher percentage of organics with a little bit of mineral. One of my absolute favourite ranges. Clean. Veg+Bloom, going to make waves when people start realising that most nutrients are powders before they begin their life, and people add water to them.
Yeah.
When people get out the habit of thinking that they're buying water, Veg+Bloom will take off, and it's going to be a phenomenal product. It is already, but what people realise. Vitalink, well done for you, buddy. Stage 2 will reveal all about your range. Super Thrive, Mammoth Bee, Moonshine, every single one of the products works really well and is now.
We're going to put a list up, are we?
So there's going to be a list on the MPK website. On our banners, it takes you to the crowdfunding page. And I'm also going to produce a list. I might make an independent website, just throw something very quick. It's not going to look a whale beater, but it's going to have a list of PGR free, and it's going to have a list of known PGRs. So anyone who wants to use a product and wants to check it out first, they go to the website, something like, I haven't made it yet, but we'll call it hydroponicpgrfree.com. And they go on there, and we'll just have a full list on there. So big round of applause. It's not really surprised. If anyone thought they were going to come and watch this YouTube show today,
and everyone go,
there's
no fucking nutrients left to use.
No.
Everything's got fucking PGRs.
Then you're all okay.
Yeah.
Did we really expect anything less from the people and the companies that went, here's out the test, and within a week to 2 weeks, every single one of them are paid in full? Did you really think that they were going to be paying thousands of pounds to be blasted by me on podcast? Nope. So it
worries me a bit though, like some of the other companies who haven't been in touch. That's what worries me.
Phase 2 starts today. Obviously, people haven't heard a lot about me talking about this PGR testing, because I'll be honest, we haven't made a penny from it because I wanted to be on that white horse. I didn't want people to go, oh, you've made money and, come into uncertainty or question. So we haven't made a penny. And the administration time that it's took has been a big toll. So once they were sent off for testing, it was one of the biggest tests that they'd done, and it just took a little bit of time. So phase 2 starts today. I'm going to start getting in touch with companies politely now. All these companies that have already been tested, they got in touch with me. Yeah. Now phase 2.
They've done the right thing.
Oh, yeah, they did the right thing. Phase 2, I'm going to start getting in touch with companies politely. Hi, Buddha's Tree. Hi, Gold Label.
Dutch Pro.
Hi, Dutch Pro. Hi, CANNA. I'm going to be a little push. It's phase 2. Do you want to get involved? And then I'm going to leave it there. If you want to get involved, you will. Phase 3, I'm going to be ringing up the companies going, this is your last chance. If you don't want to be involved, that's absolutely fine. But you will be tested by phase 4 and phase 5. And just to put it out there, I don't know if I've said this before, in phase 1, we had somebody ring up the shop. I didn't know what the voice were. I don't know who they are, is basically it. And they said, I love what you're doing. You don't know who I am. I'm part of the industry. I've never heard them before. If it was Jason from AutoPot, or if it was Jay from SANlight, or somebody I don't know in the voice, I don't know who this person was. He said, I love what you're doing. In 6 months' time or a year's time, if you've got a set of products that you can't get funding for to finish off, he said, I love this industry. If there's a set of products and you haven't got money for it, I'll ring you again in a year's time. And if it's 50 products, I'll fund every product to get tested. So there's no hiding. It will go manufacturer's responsibility.
It's not the hiding that worries me. It's like you're just a minge bag. Sorry.
Repeat it again.
I said it's not
the hiding.
Yeah, it's like
being a bit of a minge bag. Thinking that
you really want to turn up at AutoPot and everyone's paid by you.
Yeah.
Come on, sort your head out, and then you're going to go and get a free drink from the free bar. Fuck off.
Yeah. You've got 5 weeks to get
money
involved.
Out, get your product tested. Don't let someone else do it for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like a bit, I don't know.
Don't be one of them people.
Yeah, don't be one of them people. It just bubbles me.
Because we've been nice on today's podcast. We've been very polite because obviously they got involved. We've been lovely. Phase 2, we're still going to be polite because I understand not everybody listens to the podcast.
It just does me, I think, because I think to myself, yeah, are they just holding back thinking, yeah, you can test that as we're not paying for it, though. When it gets to your phase 4 and 5, someone else will just pay.
Oh, no,
so
because...
just be
like... to give you an example?
You'll go to the bottom shelf in the shop, mate, just for being a disgrace to yourself, mate. That's where you'll end up.
To give you an example, we'll now fast forward to phase 4 of testing, and product Magical Grow A and Grow B, they've been tested, but they didn't pay for it. The anonymous donations or the donations by the growers, by the wholesalers, by the manufacturers, they've paid for Magical Company A and B to be tested. So I'm going to say, either well done, you were clean. However, you didn't pay. What was the reason for not getting involved with the testing? Because...
And I'll promote every other company who had to pay for your product.
Yeah, we'll do that. So everyone that
and then when you're walking around AutoPot with us all, you can hold your head up high and think, oh, there's CANNA and they paid for my product, and there's that and they paid for my product, and oh, there's HighLight, they funded some of it, and I'll go and get a free drink out of the HighLight bar as well, and I might do me fucking washing as well. Fuck off. Get your fucking money out. It's fucking buttons, mate, for the amount of people that are buying your product and the money and who are putting you on the map and putting you in the place where you are now. Get your money out and give a little bit back.
You know
what I mean?
So we might be seen. We might be seen to being a little bit mean, but it's not mean. It's not mean because you need to stand up. If you believe in your company, stand up for your company. People think, oh, it is a lot of money, but I'm trying to give you as much value as possible. Independently, UCAS accredited FDAS lab, one of the best in the country. They say it hasn't got it in it. It hasn't fucking got it in it. If it has, it has. So it's an independence. You've had no control over it. I've had no control over it. I took the bottles off the shelf, so the companies didn't even send me the bottles.
Imagine if we do another, I don't know, like, look at it like this. If we get everyone tested, the companies that are minge bagging, handing the money over now, imagine the companies that come back and they've got PGRs, well, they're going to hit rock fucking bottom, mate, because the people who are buying it may not buy it no more, so they're going to want a better product, so they've got a choice then of people who are PGR free, so you might get your money back that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I'm going to give you an example. So if by phase, obviously, if any product comes back and it's got high levels of PGRs in there, the ones that we're probably actively looking for, then it's going to be a bit of a slating because there's two ways it could happen. If it's in a high amount, you've done it on purpose, and you've been looking for a plant reaction by putting this product in, you're a gobshite. If it's in such small quantities in terms of parts per million or parts per billion, it's still not good, but it could be a manufacturing error or it could be a bottling error and you just haven't known about it. It's still not great, but we're gonna give you that heads up and you'll be able to sort it out. So that's it. That's it. If it's in high amounts or low amounts, then it's still not great.
I think if it's in there, mate, it's fucking in there, and it shouldn't be. And what you should be doing is if you have brought a product to market,
quality control.
Yeah, that is have brought the product in, and now the people who, and I'm not saying it can't happen, cross contamination in a chemical company somewhere who's doing it for you, but it just shows that you haven't had as much care as what you should have, and quality control and making sure that this company who's doing your bottling for you and mixing your solutions and chemicals and diluting your shit is doing it and cross-contaminating it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Before I
look at be fucking out to the AutoPot as well.
100%. And just before I get into the comments, I just want
I think.
You said Irish there, didn't you?
I think the people who don't pay have got to pay for their own drinks at AutoPot.
Yeah.
Do we?
No, actually, there's I'm sure, I think everyone's going to do this anyway, but the HighLight bar...
we're going to have a PGR free bar and you won't be allowed to. Get on that.
We've got 5
and when you're going to be in the other bar and you're going to have to pay for your own drinks. Yeah, he's not allowed a free drink. Don't give him a free drink. He has to pay.
I like it. So just before I move on to the comments and sort of round up the podcast, then you're getting an independent review of your products that everybody can believe in. So that is worth the money. On top of that, for me to try and give you extra value, when your products come back clean, hopefully, touch wood, we're going to give you a massive shout on the podcast. And I'm very proud of our podcast because since we've got the partners, we've averaged 70,000 downloads in February, March, April, May, and June. We're already well on our way to 70,000 in July. That's a month, 70,000 a month, yeah. We've hit 1.6 million in the last 24 months. So we're shouting out your company as being for around the world. So that should be a little bit of an incentive. And then the third thing is Josh has created a gorgeous certificate. It's like the people we've talked about on today's podcast, their certificates will be in the post. I'm going to be doing a Instagram post for each individual company that they can then share on their Instagram. Our Instagram has, 5,700 followers, and you're going to get a guaranteed certificate of analysis with all this. So it's well worth it. And not doing it.
You can rant and rave.
Yeah.
To the world.
You can stand up.
Is it clean?
Absolutely. And have the evidence to back it up. Not just shout and go, I know my product's PGR free. Go, motherfucker, there's a certificate. Everybody loves a certificate. My mum's got all mine on a fridge with magnets. Now let's go through the comments. So I think anyone who's missed, Anita said we've missed a couple of live shows, not a problem. We have, with our Mevo, we've been having issues with this. It's very complicated. You want to see the wires underneath
it's a pain. If someone donate and buys a new one, it's a pain in the ass.
So the bottom thing's been had an error. Mevo, American company. It's been taking a bit of time on email backwards and forwards. It will be sorted soon. Thank you very much for bearing with us on the bad audio. If you want to listen to the full exquisite audio, download the podcast. Comes out on Sunday at 12 o'clock from Podbean, Spotify. You can get it on the YouTube channel. So that's where you get the full audio. Where are the comments? Pete's Back Garden, Mills pays the bills, big thumbs up. Jimmy the Saint, I'll see you at AutoPot. I'm using GHE 3-pack, good, bad or ugly. Brilliant product. A lot of commercial people using it around the world. One of my favourite people, Jason AutoPot, raves about it and loves it. But they are yet to stump up the cash to be tested. Let's go, GHE. Yeah. We need phase 2. You don't want to be letting it go. Kelsey says, hi, Barry. Hi, Steve. Our gorgeous printering woman. Thank you, Kelsey. What's the deal with the audio being crap on this and the last podcast?
It wasn't. It was me, I think, weren't it?
Yeah, Jamie, Aiden, you missed the last... you missed the beginning. Barry was relaxing. The reason he was relaxing is because hay fever is pretty high this time of year. And soft bollocks thought he'd take 3 fucking antihistamine tablets.
I didn't take 3 at once, not that fucking stupid.
No, you took 3 throughout the day.
I didn't. I snorted 2. I didn't.
And injected.
I didn't. I took 1 in the morning. It just, by 12, I took 1 at about 7:30 in the morning. By 12 o'clock, couldn't breathe. My eyes were going to thought, I'll take another. Took another. And by like 3 o'clock, nothing was happening.
Hour before the podcast.
Oh my God. And I had to take another.
So he took 3. So if you watched...
And they were drowsy and I was sat there, just my eyes were just glazed and I was just looking at Steve thinking, shit.
He started crying, like his eyes started tearing up. I thought, what have I said to upset Barry here? So if you're interested, go back to last week's podcast on YouTube and look at Barry like in another world. It's quite funny.
It was heavy.
He didn't speak much. But it's not as bad as what you heard on the podcast. His audio just literally got clipped out because he sat this far back and
was having like out-of-body experiences.
Yeah. Jamie Aiden said, I've come late to this one. Did they find any PGRs? No, we didn't. Not much of it, but we only tested. I'll go back through them. Mills, let me get my sheet up. That's the wrong sheet. Mills, BioBizz, Hydrotops, Veg+Bloom, full range, clean. Vitalink Buddy, clean. Super Thrive, clean. Mammoth P, clean. Moonshine, Foley Feed and Root Drench, clean. Not much of a surprise because they donated first. They knew their product didn't have PGRs in. It's phase 2, 3, 4. The later we get onto the phases, the more groundbreaking this podcast
told you, mate, you're paying for your own drinks. I'll cause murder at AutoPot. I swear to God, I'll cause murder.
James said, no worries. I'd rather you were ambitious in what you try to do and have issues every now and again than stick to the same old safe options. Everybody appreciates the effort. You know what, Jamie? That means a lot. Thank you very much, because we do try and move forward. We do try and do new things. This live is an absolute pain in the ass, but people enjoy it. And we enjoyed the interactions between you watching live, and I appreciate everyone taking time out today to watch live. So thank you very much. And yeah, someone said, sure you know, but the sound keeps cutting on your main part of your atomic. So if you were struggling, thank you very much for staying with us. Listen to the podcast. It goes out on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean. It goes out Sunday, 12 o'clock. Be able to hear in crisp audio. And then we've had the last question. You're saying, still here. What's the AutoPots about, please, mate? So I'm going to answer the question. AutoPot is a gravity-fed system. No electricity required. You fill it with, most often you fill it with something like 60-40. Allows the wicking effect to pull the water up through the pot. What it works on is it works on a valve that will flood to 20 mil, and it will moisten the bottom part of the cocoa and allow the plant to drink. It's basically a bottom-fed system. They've made a lot of iterations over the last few months and years. They've been increasing the valve size piping. So 5-6 years ago, it used to block up if you're using things like Hydrotops or mills or a thick, gloopy nutrient range. They've now modified it so mills works perfect, Hydrotops works perfect. I think with the new thing that's coming out, I might be wrong. I think it's a 5 mil opening on the valve. I think you can even use BioBizz, and they no longer need to top feed organics. So phenomenal system. One of the most prolific systems around the world, used by commercial people, used by 4-pot AutoPot growers. It's a brilliant system. Very proud to have them as a partner on the podcast. Go and check them out, www.autopot.co.uk, and you'll be able to see the range of systems that they've got. Absolutely massive. So that's that. Was there anything else? Next week's podcast, 183, plant hormones. Still on the PGR topic, but it's going to be plant hormones, how gibberellins, auxins, indole acetic acid, things like Clonex. What happens when you manipulate the plant? I'm going to be talking all about that. No, Mr. Cromwell, it is not you. The volume is cutting in and out. Listen to the podcast. It'll be out on Sunday. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for everyone that's watched live and stayed with us. I'll be doing an Instagram post later if you want to follow us at MPK_Hydroponics. And we'll see you next week. Me, Steve.
Buzzer.
Not on his antihistamines. And we're going to be giving you a phenomenal podcast next week with clean audio. That's me out. That's Barry.
Yeah, man.
Not suffering with hay fever.
It was good, that podcast. I like that.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Well done to everyone that's not got PGRs in the products. Thank you very much. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.